I know from looking at the documents that you and your wife purchased your home in 2008, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And so so if you would look at exhibit one, I've got the exhibits in front of you. They're labeled 1 through 5, and then there's some photos labeled A through E. So let's look at exhibit one, if you will, please. And I believe this to be a survey that Scott Lamar prepared for the two of you in 2008 when you purchased your property. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you know Mr. Lamar, the surveyor?
I did not know him at the time.
Okay. Have you met him since?
Once.
Okay.
I believe I have.
Out on your property?
He was surveying some other property.
Okay. Okay, so this is the survey that he prepared for the two of you that was part of your closing in 2008. Look at, if you would, look at exhibit 2. It's a 6-page document. I believe that's your deed, the deed from the Tuckers to the Sterlings. The first 3 pages is the deed from the Tuckers to the Sterlings. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Okay. And then there's 3 more pages, which is entitled easement deed. Correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And the easement deed and the warranty deed were all filed simultaneously. These 6 pages were filed consecutively in the deed and mortgage records of Garland County. They were part of the same transaction. Is that correct?
No, I believe so.
Okay. And can you tell me what the purpose was of the easement deed, the last 3 pages of exhibit 2?
That was for Robert Waite. That was Dale Tucker's cousin. He owned property in the back section, and that was for him to get access to go back to his property.
Could you look at exhibit 1? You just had it and show me where that.
His property was over here. Mr. Waite's property was.
Okay, so
That's 20 acres back over here.
so for the record, because we're taking everything down.
Yes, sir.
So for the record, you are indicating that the Waite's property would have been north and west
That is correct.
of Mr. Linson's property.
Yes.
Okay. And north and west of
It would be,
you.
it would be north of the Linson property.
Okay. Due north or
It
northwest?
would be due north.
Okay.
There was from what I believe, there was a 50-acre tract here.
Okay.
Joe Tucker bought 10, Robert Waite bought 20, and then there was 20 of the Linsons.
Okay. Okay. And does the easement that is described in the easement deed, does it cross your property?
Well, it does up here in the front.
What
The
about,
the easement comes along the edge of the property. He had access to the driveway to get to the.
Mr. Waite?
Yes.
Was he still, did you ever know Mr. Waite?
We've seen him on occasion driving back there, and we talked with him
After you purchased?
after we purchased the property.
Okay. So the north edge of your property that you're looking at on exhibit 1, it has a fence row. It has double fence rows that appear to be 20 feet apart.
Yes.
Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is that entirely on your property? Both fence rows?
This, one here is on my property.
The south one?
Yes, the north one is, now the Landry's on that.
Okay. So do you know where exactly, so you're telling me that the south fence row on the northern edge of your property is your
Yes.
border?
Yes.
So what part of the easement, if any, is across your property?
There's no easement that's on my property. It is. I don't understand what you're
Well,
asking.
so you're
But I'm gonna object to form just because I feel like he's asking for legal conclusion. But go ahead and ask.
Sure. So it's your belief that, the double fence rows on the north side of your property, that you just own up to the southern fence? You
That is
do
correct.
not own the northern. Is that
Correct.
okay? And the Linson Trust owns 20 acres plus or minus to your west. Is that right?
Correct.
And, let's look at, the photos for a second, please. Can you identify the photograph that's labeled as Exhibit A? It's entitled East Easement Gate Looking West. Is
Yeah,
that,
that's the entrance to the easement.
okay, and tell me about the fence there. Is that a fence that
Landry's put up.
the Landry's put that up?
Yes.
Do you know approximately?
No, wait, the Andersons put that up. Andersons put that up.
Andersons were predecessors entitled to the Landry's?
Yes.
Okay. So was it there when you bought your property?
No.
Do you know approximately when it was erected?
No, I do not.
So it would have been after 2008, of course.
Yes, it was after the Landry's had purchased,
I think they purchased in 15. Does that sound about right?
I have no idea when they purchased it.
Do you know the purpose of the fence, of that particular gate? I'm sorry.
I would guess to keep people from driving down their property.
Okay. Did you ever talk to the Andersons about
Yes.
it?
No, I never talked to them about the gate,
Okay.
because that was their property. It was none of my, none of my doings.
Okay. Let's look at B. It's entitled East Easement Gate Looking East.
That's looking from the inside of the first photo.
So in photograph B, you can see out to South Percy Road.
Correct.
Okay. And who owns the property between that gate and South Percy Road?
We do.
Okay. Do you own it as part of your 10 acres or is it?
That's part of our 10 acres.
You own the easement.
No, that's part of our 10 acres, from what I understand from the title company.
Okay. Does anybody use that road except for you?
No, sir.
Do the Landrys use it to go
No,
get to their
sir.
gate?
No, sir.
Does anybody use that gate?
No, sir.
Do you know if anyone ever used this pathway to get to that gate?
The Andersons did when they owned, they bought that 20 acres from, Robert Waite,
Yeah.
and that was their access to get down to their property.
Did they use it up until the time they sold to the Landrys?
No, up until the time that they bought, what was his name? Jerry Cooksey. They bought his property, which then they had the entire property and they never used that drive anymore.
Okay. Have the Landrys ever used it?
No, sir. Not to my knowledge.
Okay. Let's look at photo C, easement road bed looking west. Is that inaccurate? Do you recognize that by looking at it?
That's pretty much what it looks like, yes.
That's the exact same easement except it's looking out the other way,
Correct.
all right? And then D is, again, I believe, the same road, easement road,
Correct.
looking back towards the highway. Correct.
Correct.
All right. Um, do you, the south fence line that we talked about in Exhibit 1, do you consider that to be your fence or
Yes.
the Landry's?
That's my fence.
Okay. And do you maintain it?
Yes.
Have you ever maintained any of the ground in the easement to the north of it? Like mowed it or anything?
I mowed it once for the Landry's.
Okay, is it passable
No, sir.
right now?
No, sir.
When it
There's
hasn't-
trees and stuff like that in the middle of the road now, grown up,
Okay,
because it hadn't been used in so long.
okay. Now, other than this easement road that we've been talking about, is there any other apparent access into the Linson Trust property?
Not anymore.
There's no roadway going in there that you know of?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Let's look at Exhibit 3, which is another plat. This plat is dated June 15th of 23. It's stated at the bottom, if you see, and it's another plat created by Scott Lamar, surveyor. Do you believe this to be an accurate description of the access easement off the highway and the easement that runs along the north side of your property?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you have an electronic gate, right?
That's correct.
And it is, can you show me where on this Exhibit 3 that it might be? If you would, you can use this orange highlighter.
It's approximately somewhere in this area here.
Okay. And while you got the marker out, could you please depict where this gate we were just talking about in the photos, the east gate, far east gate looking out? Is that's the existing gate that you said the Andersons put up? Right?
Yes, that's this gate here.
Okay. In exhibit A. We're going west. Can you show me if there are other gates? Are you marked one at the far western end of the easement?
Yes, sir.
And whose gate is that?
That's the Andersons put that up.
Is it in the same condition as it was
Yes, sir.
since you moved out there?
Well, since they put it up.
Okay. They put it up after you moved there.
After they moved there.
Okay. Are there any other gates
No, sir.
on the easement?
No, sir.
3 total. One's the one off the highway is that an electric gate that you and your wife
Yes,
operate,
right there.
and no one else uses that except for you?
That's correct.
Now I understand just from the history of the property out there that there's and Court Connect would show that there has been some litigation or criminal charges concerning your neighbor to the east, Mr. Lambert. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Can you tell me what the nature of that issue is?
The nature of Mr. Lambert's.
Yeah.
I have several issues with Mr. Lambert. Mr. Lambert likes to come on our property, He has, threatened my daughter, terroristic threatened my daughter. He has assaulted my daughter. And, he has tore up some of our property.
And, looking at some maybe police reports, has the law enforcement been involved?
Oh, yes, sir.
How far back has the problem been going on?
It's been going on for several years.
Is it ongoing or has it?
It's
resolved?
ongoing. It's ongoing.
Okay. Now, on exhibit 1, does Lambert, who owns north of your access easement? Is that the Landry's or
This
Lambert?
here?
Yes, sir.
Well, what are you talking about? Who owns this here?
Yes, sir.
That is on the Landry's.
Okay,
property.
so the only Lambert owned property on these is
here.
directly to the east of yours,
Correct,
up to the bottom of your roadway,
correct,
south edge of your road, correct?
correct.
Okay.
And when you talk about easement, what are you talking about?
I'm talking
Just
about,
this easement here, because as far as I know, that's the only easement that I own.
okay,
This property right here, that's coming down my driveway. It is my driveway.
you're looking at exhibit 3.
That's on exhibit 1. That's on any exhibit. My
Okay, so-
driveway comes from the road down.
Yeah, so I'm just referring to it because on the plat, there's the word, it's like on exhibit 3, for instance, it uses the words access easement.
I had no idea that there was an access easement. As far as I know from title company, we own the driveway.
Where you get it, your electric guy.
From the road to my house is my driveway.
The driveway is depicted here on exhibit 3.
From South Pusey Road all the way down is what from the title company, they say that we own. Now, the only thing that we didn't own was this
East-west 20-foot
section of
strip.
that, access road, the easement,
We'll call it,
which was sold to Robert Waite and then transpanned down from the Andersons to the Landers.
okay. Good enough. Yeah, look at exhibit 4, which is another plat that was created by Mr. Lamar. And he was out there at your property, near your property, in March of last year, March of 24. This plat, this exhibit 4 is actually dated March the 6th of 24. And before I ask you about it, do you think that may be the time when you talk to him?
Talk to Mr. Lamar.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he hollered some stuff at me, and I just told him I'd take care of it. Or
Can you,
I don't remember what all he talked about.
well, just tell me.
He said he was marking this for the Vincent Trust.
Okay, so while he was out there, do the best you can to tell me what was discussed between you and Mr. Lamar.
That he was marking for the Vincent Trust, and that I knew who that deer blind was. They had 15 days to get it out. I said I'd tell him.
Whose was it?
It was just, I don't remember his name, but I never contacted him because I can't remember his name. I don't have his number, so.
How did he gain in that, the deer blind we're talking about is depicted in photograph E, if you would. Look
Yes,
at
sir.
this. So that's no longer there?
As far as I know, I don't know. It's still there as far as I know.
It is?
As far as I know, yes. I haven't been out there to look.
Okay. How close is that to your house?
That's a pretty good ways out here now.
Yeah,
My house is way over here.
okay. Now look at the next photograph, which is F. You recognize that fence?
That gate's no longer there.
It says it's a silver gate,
Yeah, it's no longer there.
Sterling access.
It's been removed and replaced by a fence.
And when was it removed and replaced?
right after that, was, posted for no trespassing.
That right after Mr. Lamar
Yes, sir.
posted it? Okay. If you would go to, back to the main plat, exhibit one, and use this yellow highlighter and mark where that gate is on your plat.
Well, it's no longer there, but
Right,
it was
where it
somewhere in
was.
that area there.
Okay, so it was approximately, it was on your western fence.
Yes,
And was it a gate that you installed?
yes.
What was the purpose of installing a gate
So I
there?
could keep my fence line clean.
So you could mow on both
Yeah.
sides of it?
Yes.
Okay. And, thank you. And, going back to, now I'm gonna ask you about exhibit 4. And exhibit 4, again, is the, plat that was created by Mr. Lamar in March of 24, I believe. And it shows on the Linson Family Trust property, what he's labeled as ATV lanes and clearing, and of course the deer blind is on there. Can you tell me how the ATV lanes are maintained out there? Do you know
Are they maintained? What do you
Yes, sir.
mean?
Well, who maintains them? Are they mowed? Who mows them?
They're not mowed as far as I know, but no one goes out there and mows.
Can you tell me any time since you've owned your property in 2008 where anyone has ever been over there on the Linson's property?
There's all kinds of people that go across there,
How do they
as
get
far as I
there?
know.
How do they get there?
They come in from the warehouse or property.
Yeah. Have you ever encountered any, trespassers
I
over
don't
there?
go out there to see who's running around out there.
But are you telling me that
You can hear
you can hear
four-wheelers
four-wheelers?
running out there. You can hear people shooting out there.
but not you?
No, I've been out there on my four-wheeler just to see what was out there before. And that was it.
But you don't maintain it yourself?
No,
And the purpose of your gate?
was to clear some of my fence line over here. I couldn't get to this over in here. It was too full of trees, but I just kept it mowed on both sides.
Okay. How many years has that deer blind been up?
I have no idea. It's been a couple of years, several years at least.
What about the ponds? Does somebody maintain the ponds, or can you tell?
No, they're not maintained as far as I know. No one takes care of them.
Are they, do cattle have access to them?
No, sir.
All right, so, going back to when Mr. Lamar was out there, and you said he was marking, the Linson property, is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
Can you use, let's see that, what exhibit do you have right in front of you? there? 4. Could you use your orange marker and show me where Mr. Lamar was marking the line?
He marked it all along this.
But if you would use your orange, so we'll know later. It was marking just your western line.
And he's probably marked the whole thing as far as I know. I don't know. I haven't been over here to see.
But
Well, yeah, I haven't been over warehouse or land to see, or whoever owns this part.
okay, so your western line that he marked, is that the reason why you took the gate out, because he marked it for no
That's correct.
trespassing? Okay. Did you and he discuss whether you needed to take it out, or?
No, I just took it out. Didn't want, it's been posted, so no need of me going on there and.
Had it ever been posted before?
No, sir, not that I was aware of. There's never been any purple paint, no trespassing signs or anything on the property.
Okay. So as far as you know, your opinion is that there is no easement that crosses any part of your property from South Piercy all the way to the Linson property.
That's correct.
Any easement there is on the Landry's property.
Well, then my driveway here, they would have to have an easement for that.
Okay. Because it's not part of the easement.
As far as I know, it's not.
Okay. All right, now, in your, there was some written discovery that was sent out, and one of the questions, well, my predecessor in this case did that, and, one of the questions was about witnesses if this case goes to trial, and, you had listed, of course, yourself and your wife and the Landrys, and you also mentioned Mr. Lamar, the surveyor. Do you know who Donna Addison is?
No, sir.
Okay. And Dale Tucker and Linda Tucker are your predecessors in interest.
That is correct.
Are they still in this area? Do you know?
As far as I know, they are.
Do they live out there near you?
Yes, sir.
Do they live adjacent to some of your property?
No, sir.
Okay. Have you been in touch with them about this case?
No, sir.
What evidence would they have that would be helpful in this case? Do you know?
Just, I would guess on the easement, the purchase of the easement by Robert Waite.
Okay.
And ownership of the driveway, I would assume he would know that.
All right, Mr. Sterling, have you understood all my questions?
Yes, sir.
All right. I don't have any other questions.
Okay.
Maybe your lawyer does, I don't know. Okay. Thank you. Y'all wanna switch seats? You need them to switch seats?
Well, that way it should be on the.
Be
right on the
Yeah, okay.
That's tough.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Please state your name.
Rebecca Sterling.
Ms. Sterling, I'm Bert Newell. I represent the Linson Trust and litigation that's pending in Garland County Circuit Court. And you and your husband are defendants, and Matthew Landry and his wife are defendants. You're familiar with the case? Correct?
Yes.
All right. And have you ever given a deposition before?
I don't think so.
Lucky you. As you know, of course, it's a question and answer session, only you're under oath. You had just sat through the previous deposition of your husband, correct?
That's correct.
All right, and so, same rules, of course. If you don't understand a question, tell me, I'll rephrase it. If you do answer it, I will assume you understood it, correct?
Correct.
All right. So, we're gonna go over some of the same documents as your husband and I did. I'm just gonna ask some questions that do you agree with, so let's start with your ownership, Exhibit 2, the deed,
Yeah.
6 pages of deeds.
Mhm.
Do you agree that that is the vesting documents for your property where you live?
Yes,
Okay, and you closed in 2008,
that's correct.
and Exhibit 1, the plat, Exhibit 1 was part of
Our survey.
your survey. That was part of your title work, actually, right?
Yes,
Okay, and that's accurate?
as far as I'm aware.
Okay. And do you agree with your husband's assessment of the easement deed, the history of the easement deed between the Tuckers and the Sterlings and the Waits?
Can I explain it a little
Yes,
bit better?
yeah, please.
Okay. When we purchased the property in 2008, we purchased it from Dale and Linda Tucker.
Okay,
Okay. The easement here,
now, help me describe from
this
east,
is the easement that is to the north of our property, that is between the Landrys and our property.
it runs east-west, it runs east-west
West.
along your northern border.
Border, that's correct.
All right, and your description of it is a little different than your husband. Because you indicate that perhaps you, the Sterlings, do own part of it.
No, we've
Okay.
never owned part of it.
Okay,
What I'm saying is that Dale and Linda Tucker had already sold this to Robert Waite
so. what-
prior to us purchasing the property in 2008.
Okay,
Okay, Robert, I don't know when he bought this property, this 20 acres back here. He did not have access at all.
okay,
Okay, Dale was his cousin, and Dale sold him this 20-foot easement from here to here.
from your eastern edge to your property to your western edge to your property.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
Except for the driveway.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So do you know why the easement deed was created? Why the easement deed included you and your husband, since if you didn't own any of the land?
Because Robert Waite needed access here,
I see, from
here to here,
from South Piercy Road to your.
to the gate that was here. Because there was a gate here when we purchased the property before the Andersons put up a new gate. There was a gate here.
All right, that's the same gate that your husband Fred marked
Yes.
as the eastern gate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And there was a gate up here as well.
Where your
There
electric
was a
is.
gate, but it was a wooden gate. And there was a gate where we have our gate now. There was, when we purchased it, there was a gate there as well.
Okay, but it was a wooden gate,
But it was a wooden gate with a lock.
okay? But is that the only way in to your property?
Yes.
And did the Tuckers have a house there? Or did you all build it?
No, they built the house there.
So that was the way they gained entry to the property, just like it is the way you gained entry.
That's exactly right.
Okay. And the photos that you were following along with me, you had copies of them too, right?
That's correct.
In front of you. Are those accurate depictions, accurately titled?
Yes, Eastman Gate looking to the west is A. That's the same gate looking to the east on B.
Okay.
That's still looking to the west past the gate. What's the thing looking to the east? And I don't know about anything about that.
The deer stand.
The deer stand, I don't have anything to do with that. So, and the gate, yes.
Okay, so those photos are all readily identifiable for you. And no part of that easement is on your property.
Not
No
anymore.
part of that road is on your property.
Yes, we've never owned that.
Any of it?
No.
Okay.
From this gate down.
East to west.
Mm-hmm. From here to here.
Okay. Do the Landrys, do they have cattle?
No,
Does anybody run cattle out
we
there?
did.
You did,
Mm-hmm.
but not anymore?
No.
What about the Lamberts? Do they have livestock?
No, he has pigs. Lots of pigs.
Where do they keep them?
Right here. Right in front of my house.
Between your house and Piercy, South
Road.
Piercy
Mhm.
Road? How much land do the Lamberts own?
7 acres.
Directly between South Piercy Road and your property?
That's correct. Mr. Lambert seems to think that he owns this driveway or owns this easement.
Your driveway?
My driveway. And that's where the problem is
Has he
that,
told you why he believes that?
no, he just says he owns it. We've tried to show him in court many times, but he won't believe any of the attorneys or the judge or anything.
Has he been in court for trespass on your
Multiple
property?
times. I have at least 13 police reports since 2020, just of assault, trespass, terroristic threatening. He's come down the road drunk, and so he's the reason why we put the gate up. He is the reason for the fence. Is Ricky Lambert. Okay, my daughter at the time was home, and he came down the road screaming, hollering, and he was drunk, and I was afraid for my daughter's life. Okay, that's not the first time. He has sprayed her with all kinds of chemicals in the face, and we've got it on video. And he was cussing us, and he was on our property when he did it. He has taken out our gate 3 times,
The electric gate?
the electric gate. He's the first time he took a pickaxe to it. The second time he shot it, and the third time we've got him on video. This time ramming our gate, and that was in just December of this year. It's constant.
Has he been convicted of these crimes?
He's been convicted a couple of times. We've still got some pending cases with him.
Has he been put in jail?
Yes,
For how long?
probably until he got bonded out.
So the problems continue with him?
It's continual. It's been a long, long process. I've got pages and pages of pictures and videos, and Garland County won't do anything. I mean, he does just enough that he can't get caught.
Okay.
And it's constant. I can't leave my house. This morning when we came out, it smelled like pigs. It stank. I can't sell my house because we have litigation. I cannot. Even the value of my house has gone down because of the pigs. My husband has had surgery because we had to get rid of our water well because the pigs had fouled it, but I can't prove it. Okay? And then he ended up having surgery and lost his testicle because of all that for the E. coli that we got.
Have you tried to sell your house?
I can't because we've been in litigation.
This case.
This case, no, the case that Ricky Lambert filed against us.
What case was that? Is this still, is it pending? in
No, it's
Garland
not. It's
County?
been dismissed.
Who represented Mr. Lambert?
Brian Johnson.
And what happened with the case?
It was dismissed because they failed to prosecute it, basically.
Okay.
And they didn't have any evidence, and they didn't have any facts. We have it here. It's a constant problem with him.
What were they trying to?
My husband is now on medication because of that stupid man.
I understand.
Do you understand?
I do.
We can't put our trash out there. I don't have a mailbox. I have to have my mailbox in Bismarck, Arkansas, because the man keeps taking down my stuff.
I'm sorry. Don't have anything to do with Mr. Lambert. Neither do.
But he's the reason for all of this. All of this.
Okay.
Oh, one thing I do want to say is when we put the gate up, we asked the Andersons if they wanted a gate code. We gave them a gate code. When the Landrys bought the land, we went to them and said, hey, this easement is yours, and you have access through our property, and we will give you a gate code if you want one. We have given it to them. Okay? I have no problem with that. I have a problem with Ricky Lambert harassing us. If the Linsons get access down this easement that is not theirs, okay, what's going to happen is Ricky Lambert is going to be up and down, and it's within 50 feet of my house. My grandchildren live there. He's always shooting the guns. We hear bullets whizzing by at my house. We can't let our babies 2 and 5 go out in the yard because of him.
Okay.
And there's nothing we can do because nobody will do anything about it.
Have you ever been over on the Linson Trust property?
One time when it snowed, It was beautiful. It had way up when we had that really, really big snow, and I went out there because it was so pretty on the mountain that I walked up there. And that was the only time I have ever been on that property.
Have you seen others out there?
I've heard people out there. You hear ATVs all the time. There's a hunting club right up the mountain. You always hear the logging roads up there. You always hear everything. You know, you can hear all through the woods.
Right.
And there's access through Warehouser. There's access through Addison Road. There's other access.
When you call what do you speak of as access?
Well, if they wanted access back to their property, there's a access road that Warehouser has that goes back, and I believe it goes back as far as their property. If you look at the maps on the mountain, if you look at the, you can actually look at it on that data scout if you wanted to, and you can see the trails that they have all up in the mountain.
Would it be more accurate to call those four-wheeler trails
They could be, yes.
as opposed to two-lane roads? There's no
Well, there's a lot of logging roads up there.
the logging roads that they use situationally when they have logs, when they're hauling logs out. But
Well,
then
they haven't
grow
been
up
logging
after
up
that.
there in a long time.
They haven't.
But there's, like I said, there's a deer camp back in there, but we never can get a hold of any of the people that, I guess it's family, because we never can get a hold of them. We've tried to call several times.
For what purpose?
Well, I think he wanted to join the deer camp at one point, but we can't never get a hold of him. And there's some people that we saw out off to the side, and then if I can show you back over here. Okay, this is for the hunting.
Describe
So just exhibit 4, and I'm looking at
out of your line.
south of our line where it says Warehouser.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, off of Piercy Road, there's Piercy Road's back in here. Like I said, you go to Data Scout, you can see it.
Do you think that there some of those people are hunting up on the
Oh, absolutely. If I remember correctly, we had a hunter or something come through one time. They said they were looking for coyotes or something. Do you remember that? Okay. I didn't talk to him. My husband did. But we've seen people.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple of deer stands out here too, as far as
on the Warehouser side.
on the Warehouser side.
Okay. Have you seen the paint that the surveyor Scott Lamar?
Not me. I haven't gone back there.
Okay.
I try not to get back there. There's ticks.
You haven't been to your western line and something.
No, I don't. I avoid going out there.
Okay.
We have bees out there too.
Do you does somebody raise them?
We've had bees for some time now.
Okay.
Mhm.
Have you ever had any conversations with either anyone from the Linson family?
I've had one conversation many, many years ago. We had a survey, and I can't tell you the year. It's been probably 10 years. The older Mr. Linson is who I talked to. We had a surveyor come out, and he wanted to access to the land, and we talked about it. And so when I went to the Garland County Courthouse, found out the Linsons, and actually tracked him down and called him and asked him about the land, whether they were planning to sell it or something like that. And I talked to the older gentleman.
You remember his name?
No, but I think he was 96 at the time. So if that can tell you the year, I don't remember how old he was. I mean, I don't remember what year it was.
Yeah.
But that was it. All we did was talk about the land, and I think the son might have called me back, but it wasn't a big deal. I just wanted to let him know somebody was interested in his land.
But do you know that the Linson Trust has paid taxes on the property?
I assume so.
Did you and he discuss that? The elder Mr. Linson, did you discuss?
No, I don't think I wouldn't have talked about.
Did he indicate that they were or were not interested in selling to you? Or did you get that far?
I don't know that we got that far. Because we had talked about it. We weren't. I mean, he's talked about it several times, but it's a mountain. I mean, there's not much you can do with it.
The Linson property is not flat?
No, it's a mountain.
Okay. What about yours?
That's why I don't go up there.
Is yours flat?
It's hilly. We're at the bottom, I would say, of the mountain.
Okay. Have you ever talked to the surveyor, Mr. Lamar?
No, if I remember correctly, it was probably the title company that got Mr. Lamar to do the survey. And
Right.
so I wouldn't have any contact with him.
Okay. So as far as witnesses, I asked your husband if he knew who Donna Addison was. He said no. Do you know who she is?
I'm assuming that there's Addison Lane, so I don't know if that's the person that owns property back here. Either that or she might have been worked for the title company. That would be my assumption.
Okay. Who else knows anything about your,
Dale Tucker and Robert Waite would definitely,
does Robert Waite still live in the area?
I don't even know if he's still alive.
Okay. All right. Have you understood my questions?
I believe so.
Thank you.
One question just to clarify, Ms. Sterling. So we've talked about the quote unquote easement, and it's your understanding that that's just the linear section between the two gates direct north of your line. Is that correct?
Yes,
That does not include the property that you own fee that gets out to South Piercy.
that's correct.
That's all.
All right. Thank you. You're free to go. It's 10:45 now.
45 minutes. I can try to get, I don't know if they can get down there any earlier or not, but I can call.
Okay. You're late.
I think 11:30 is what you have. Okay, so 4 minutes.
You got all of them?
Yeah, just making another.
I was making sure I had mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, 11:30 is when the map